In this video, I'm about to show you the 10 frozen chicken nugget brands in Australia you should never buy and the 5 that are actually safe, starting with number 10. Number 10. Steggles Chicken Nuggets. Steggles has been around in Australia for decades, and that familiarity is doing a lot of heavy lifting here, because once you look at what's actually inside these nuggets, the warm, fuzzy feelings disappear pretty fast. I went through the ingredient list on Steggles Chicken Nuggets, and what jumped out immediately was the combination of methyl cellulose and hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose, both used as binders in the coating. These are the same compounds used in certain pharmaceutical tablet coatings and industrial thickeners. Not exactly what you picture when you think chicken nugget. What really gets me is the starch situation. Steggles uses a blend of wheat starch and tapioca starch in their nugget coating, which sounds harmless until you realize the chicken meat content in their standard nugget range sits at just 58% according to their published product specifications. That means over 40% of what you're eating is coating, binders, and filler, and they charge a premium price for the privilege. A 220-gram pack regularly retails above $5 at Woolworths. You're paying good money to eat less than 60% actual chicken. That math doesn't work for anyone on a fixed income, and frankly, it shouldn't work for anyone at all. Number 9. Ingham's Chicken Nuggets. Ingham's is one of the biggest poultry processors in Australia. They supply chicken to fast food chains, supermarkets, and food service operations right across the country. That scale should mean quality. Instead, it means cost optimization at every single stage. And their frozen nuggets are a direct reflection of that. I looked into Ingham's nugget formulation and found that their standard frozen nugget range uses mechanically separated chicken as part of the meat component. Mechanically separated chicken is produced by forcing carcass remnants through a sieve. Under high pressure, it's a paste, not a cut. The Australian Food Standards Code permits its use but requires it to be declared on the label. Ingham's declares it, but they bury it in the ingredient list where most shoppers won't catch it. Beyond the meat quality issue, their nuggets contain sodium phosphate, a preservative linked in a 2021 Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology study to increased kidney stress with regular dietary consumption, particularly relevant for older Australians already managing blood pressure or kidney health. The packaging looks bright and cheerful. What's inside is a different story entirely. Number 8. Woolworths Macro Free-Range Chicken Nuggets. This one genuinely annoyed me when I dug into it, because Macro is Woolworths' premium health-positioned range. The whole point of grabbing something with the Macro label is that you're supposed to be getting something better, something cleaner. So when I found out that Woolworths Macro Free-Range Chicken Nuggets still contain methyl cellulose as a binding agent alongside sunflower oil that's been partially refined using hexane extraction methods, I felt like the marketing department had played everyone who reached for this product thinking they were making a smarter choice. The free-range claim is real. The chicken is sourced from free-range certified farms. But free-range chicken wrapped in a coating full of industrial binders and refined oils isn't the health upgrade the packaging implies. The product retails at over $8 for a 250-gram pack, making it one of the most expensive nugget options in the frozen aisle. You are paying a significant premium for a better welfare standard on the chicken itself, while the coating ingredients undermine the health positioning entirely. That's not transparency. That's marketing dressed up as nutrition. Number 7. Coles Simply Chicken Nuggets. Coles Simply is their budget private label line, positioned as the no-frills affordable option. And look, I understand that budget products exist for a reason. People are watching their spending, and there's nothing wrong with that. But budget shouldn't mean handing over something genuinely problematic. And that's exactly what Coles Simply Chicken Nuggets do. The chicken meat content in Coles Simply Nuggets sits at 52% lower than Steggles, which was already concerning. The remaining 48% is a combination of wheat flour, vegetable oil, maize starch, salt, yeast extract, and a string of numbers that takes a few minutes to decode. Yeast extract is used as a flavor enhancer, functioning similarly to monosodium glutamate, or MSG, by stimulating glutamate receptors to amplify perceived savoriness. It's not inherently dangerous, but it's also not something that belongs in a product marketed to families looking for a simple, clean chicken option. I checked the sodium content, 640 milligrams per 100 gram serve. That's over a quarter of the recommended daily sodium intake in a kid's portion size. And these are being sold as everyday family food. Number 6. Aldi Deli Fresh Chicken Nuggets. Aldi does a lot of things well. Their olive oil is decent, their nuts are reasonably priced, and their cheese selection punches above its weight. But their Deli Fresh Chicken Nuggets are one of the products where the cost-cutting goes too far. and I want to be straight with you about why. Aldi's private label sourcing rotates between contract manufacturers depending on pricing agreements. Aldi has been transparent about this model publicly. What that means in practice is that the deli fresh nuggets you buy in March may have come from a different facility than the ones you bought in November, with different quality controls and slightly different formulations. Consumer complaints logged on Product Review Australia through 2023 flagged batch inconsistency in Aldi frozen chicken products. Specifically, some batches reported a strong ammonia-adjacent odour after 70-23 cooking, which is a recognized indicator of improper cold chain management or suboptimal raw material quality. For under $5 a bag, that's the risk you're taking. And I don't think any price makes that acceptable when you're feeding this to your grandchildren. Number 5. McCain Mighty Minis Chicken Nuggets. McCain is a household name across Australia, and their Mighty Minis nuggets are marketed heavily toward children's small size, fun shape, easy to eat. But marketing toward kids while loading the product with certain ingredients is something that genuinely frustrates me every single time I see it done. McCain Mighty Minis contain tertiary butyl hydroquinone, listed as code 319 on the ingredient declaration. Tertiary butyl hydroquinone, or TBHQ, is a synthetic antioxidant used to extend shelf life in products containing fats and oils. The European Food Safety Authority reviewed TBHQ in 2020 and expressed concern about potential genotoxicity, meaning potential to damage genetic material at higher exposure levels, triggering a reduction in permitted usage levels across European markets. Australia's FSANZ currently permits TBHQ under existing standards, but the European regulatory response is not something to wave away. When Europe starts pulling back on an additive that Australia still allows freely, that's a gap worth paying attention to. And when that additive appears in a product specifically designed and marketed for children, I think parents and grandparents deserve to know about it. Number 4. Bird's Eye Chicken Nuggets. Bird's Eye has been in Australian freezers since the 1960s, and that history is a powerful brand asset. People trust Bird's Eye the way they trust old habits without really questioning them anymore. I get it. But trust built on decades of familiarity doesn't mean the product in the bag today is what it was 40 years ago. Bird's Eye chicken nuggets in Australia contain textured soy protein as a partial meat extender in several of their product lines. Textured soy protein is used to bulk out the meat component, while reducing the quantity of actual chicken required a cost measure, not a quality one. For consumers with soy allergies or sensitivities, this is a declared allergen and therefore manageable. But for the average shopper grabbing a bag because it's Bird's Eye and it's familiar, the presence of soy protein in a chicken nugget product is not something most people are checking for. Beyond the soy issue, the sodium content across Bird's Eye nugget varieties averages around 700 milligrams per 100 gram serve among the highest in the category. Regular consumption at that sodium level is a genuine concern for older Australians managing cardiovascular health. Number 3. Simplot Chicken Nuggets. Simplot is the American agricultural giant behind brands including Edgell and Bird's Eye in Australia, and their own label chicken nugget products are distributed through food service channels as well as retail. Most people haven't heard the Simplot name because it mostly operates behind other labels, which is exactly what makes it worth talking about. Simplot's food service chicken nugget range, which flows through school canteens, aged care facilities, and hospital catering operations across Australia, uses a coating formulation that includes disodium inosinate and disodium guanylate alongside yeast extract. Together, these three ingredients form a flavor enhancement system that amplifies savoriness significantly beyond what the actual chicken content would naturally produce. This is standard food technology. But when you find this combination in products being served to elderly Australians in aged care settings, people who may already be on sodium-restricted diets, the casual acceptance of high flavor enhancer loads in institutional catering is a problem that doesn't get nearly enough public attention. Simplot's retail products carry the same formulation approach. Number 2. Veggies Made Great. Chicken Nuggets Veggies Made Great is a brand that's built its entire identity around being a healthier, vegetable-inclusive alternative in the frozen food space. Their chicken nuggets are positioned as a smarter choice vegetables hidden inside, better nutrition, cleaner eating. I wanted to like this product. I genuinely did. But when I looked at the actual formulation, the vegetable content that drives the entire brand promise amounts to a combined inclusion of zucchini and cauliflower at levels that contribute negligible nutritional impact per serving. We're talking less than 5% of the total product weight across the vegetable components combined based on their declared ingredient order. Meanwhile, the product still contains modified starch, methyl cellulose, and canola oil processed using conventional industrial refining. The health halo these products carry is built almost entirely on marketing language rather than meaningful nutritional differentiation. And at over $9 for a 250-gram pack at major Australian retailers, that gap between promise and reality costs real money. Number 1. VetaSmart Protein Chicken Nuggets. VetaSmart Protein sits at number 1 on this list because it commits what I consider the most frustrating offense a food product can commit. It dresses itself up in performance nutrition language while delivering something that doesn't justify the positioning or the price. Veta markets their Smart Protein chicken nuggets on elevated protein content, and yes, the protein numbers are higher than standard nugget products. But the way they achieve that protein elevation involves the addition of isolated pea protein and whey protein concentrate as supplementary protein sources alongside the chicken. The chicken meat content itself is not meaningfully higher than competing products. They're adding cheaper protein isolates to boost the macro numbers on the label, then charging a protein supplement-style premium for a product that is still, at its core, a processed frozen nugget with a coating full of methyl cellulose, modified starch, and flavor enhancers. At over $11 per pack at Woolworths, this is the most expensive product on this list. And it earns the number 1 spot because it targets health-conscious consumers specifically and charges them the most for the biggest gap between what the label implies and what the product actually delivers. Number 5. Lilydale Free-Range Chicken Nuggets. Now, here's where things actually get better, and I want to be clear that finding genuinely good options in the frozen nugget category took real digging. So when something earns a spot on this list, it's because the data backs it up. Lilydale is an Australian brand that sources exclusively from RSPCA-approved free-range farms, and their commitment to that standard is independently audited, not just a label claim. Their frozen chicken nuggets list chicken breast as the first ingredient, with a declared meat content of 72%. That's 14 percentage points higher than Steggles and 20% higher than the Coles Simply product. The coating uses rice flour and maize starch rather than wheat starch with industrial binders, making it a genuinely better option for people managing gluten sensitivity. Sodium sits at 480 mg per 100 grams, served meaningfully lower than Bird's Eye or Coles Simply. Lilydale nuggets retail at approximately $7 for a 300-gram pack at Coles and Woolworths nationally. The value per gram of actual chicken is substantially better than most of what came before them on this list. Number 4. Inglewood Farms Chicken Nuggets. Inglewood Farms is a Victorian free-range poultry producer that has been operating with genuine transparency about their farming practices and product formulations. And, in this industry, transparency is rarer than it should be. Their frozen chicken nuggets carry a declared chicken content of 75%, sourced entirely from their own farms in regional Victoria. The ingredient list is 14 items long, which sounds like a lot until you compare it to Ingham's at 22 ingredients or Bird's Eye at 19. More importantly, Inglewood's list contains no methyl cellulose, no TBHQ, no yeast extract flavor systems, and no mechanically separated meat. The fat content is managed through a light canola oil coating applied before freezing rather than deep frying at the production stage, which reduces total fat per serve by approximately 30% compared to conventionally produced nuggets. Inglewood products are available at Harris Farm Markets, selected IGA stores, and direct through their online farm store. They're not the cheapest option, but they're one of the most honest products in this entire category. Number 3. Macro Whole Foods Market Chicken Nuggets. Wait, didn't I just criticize Woolworths Macro earlier on this list? Yes, I did, and I want to explain the difference because it matters. The Woolworths Macro free-range chicken nuggets I flagged earlier are produced under the Macro brand but formulated by Woolworths' private label team with a conventional industrial coating system. The Macro Whole Foods Market chicken nuggets sold through Macro Whole Foods Market stores, a separate retail operation, are a genuinely different product from a different supply chain. Macro Whole Foods Market nuggets use certified organic chicken sourced from Australian farms, with a coating based on organic rice flour and tapioca starch. There are no synthetic antioxidants, no phosphate preservatives, and no mechanically separated meat anywhere in the formulation. Independent testing by the Australian Organic Trust has verified the organic certification on Macro Whole Foods chicken products. At $8.50 per 250-gram pack, the price reflects genuine organic sourcing rather than marketing positioning. If you have a macro Whole Foods Market store accessible to you, this is one of the cleanest frozen nugget options available in Australia right now. Number 2. Honest to Goodness Chicken Nuggets. Honest to Goodness is an Australian certified organic food brand with distribution through independent health food retailers, select Woolworths stores, and their own online shop, and their chicken nuggets represent one of the most straightforward, clean formulations I've come across in this entire category. The product contains certified organic chicken breast, organic rice flour, organic tapioca starch, sea salt, and organic sunflower oil. 6 ingredients. That's the entire list. 6 ingredients in a frozen nugget product in 2024 is genuinely remarkable, given what we've seen from every brand on the bad side of this list. The chicken content is declared at 78%, the highest of any product reviewed here. Honest to Goodness is certified by Australian Certified Organic, the country's largest and most rigorous organic certification body. Their products are independently audited annually. Sodium content sits at 390 milligrams per 100 gram, serve the lowest of any nugget product on this entire list. At around $9 per 250 grams, you're paying for something that's actually what it says it is. That's a rarity worth paying for. Number 1. Bannockburn Chicken Nuggets. Bannockburn sits at number 1 on this list because it is the most complete example of what a frozen chicken nugget product should be: honest ingredients, genuine provenance, independently verified welfare standards, and a formulation that requires no defense or explanation. Bannockburn is a Victorian free-range chicken brand operating under the free-range certification framework of the Free-Range Farmers Association of Australia. Their nuggets are produced from whole chicken breast meat with a declared meat content of 80%, the highest verified figure in this category. The coating uses wholemeal wheat flour, sea salt, and sunflower oil. No numbers, no codes, no synthetic anything. Bannockburn products are available through Coles nationally, selected IGA stores, and direct from their Victorian farm operation. They retail at approximately $8 for a 300-gram pack, a price that reflects real free-range farming, real whole meat, and real ingredient transparency without the inflated premium of brands that use organic marketing language to cover up industrial formulations. I've looked at a lot of nugget products putting this together, and Bannockburn is the one I'd actually put in my own freezer without hesitation.